Global happenings today. We communicate. We analyze global news.
Welcome back to our channel. We're so excited to have you again. The crisis in the People Democratic Party seems to have come to an end, though most Nigerians believe that the crisis is still ongoing. Why? Because Wike has not given up on the fight. But from all indication, based on what the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, the move they have taken in one of the states where election is going to be organized, it seems as though they have waded in and they have settled the PDP leadership dispute. And you get to see who they are standing with right now. Now, according to the news, the ongoing battle within the People Democratic Party appears to be leaning decisively towards the Kabiru Taruki-led National Working Committee. According to senior party sources who interpret recent action by the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, as practical confirmation of these structures' legitimacy. This reading comes despite the public back and forth and challenges from the faction led by Senator Samuel Anyanwu. PDP insider contend that a series of INEC's official actions have practically removed any doubt about which leadership the commission recognizes. INEC physically monitored the Osun governorship primary with 5 officials present. The official notice for this primary was signed by the Turaki-led National Working Committee, which emerged from the December 8th convention. Now, the party sources interpret INEC monitoring of the primaries as a clear endorsement of the faction that organized it. According to the source, he says that from where we sit inside the party, this whole argument about legitimacy shouldn't even exist. The Turaki-led National Working Committee is the one INEC recognizes. That's the simple truth. Even the official notice for the Osun governorship primary, which INEC physically monitored with 5 officials present, was signed by Turaki-led team. That's not hearsay. Everyone saw what happened in Osogbo on Tuesday. INEC also refused to act on a letter from the Anyanwu-led group seeking to postpone the Ekiti congresses and governorship primaries. The reason, according to party sources, was that the letter didn't meet basic requirement as it was not signed by the party's chairman and secretary officially recognized by INEC. According to the insider, he says again, what happened with Ekiti issue is actually very straightforward. Anyanwu's camp wrote to INEC claiming they had postponed the primaries, but the letter didn't meet basic requirement. It wasn't signed by the chairman and secretary that INEC officially recognizes. Naturally, INEC said they couldn't act on it. Simple. The source also explained that the party had already acknowledged INEC's earlier letter rejecting Anyanwu's group notice to postpone the Ekiti congresses and governorship primaries, adding that they even have photos and documents to back this up. Then, a few days later, the commission tried to distance itself from the version of the letter they had sent and which we had already acknowledged. But we have the photos showing they wrote it and transmitted it to us. It wasn't even something meant for the press. So, how it leaked out, we honestly don't know. To be frank, INEC was even the one nudging the National Working Committee to conduct the Osun primary quickly. They didn't want us missing the legal window because that would have left the party without a candidate, and imagine the signal that would have sent ahead of 2027. The internal sources also dismissed the intensity of the ongoing crisis, insisting that the situation does not constitute a factional split as defined by PDP history. They contend that a true faction only emerges when attendees physically walk out of a convention and set up parallel structure, an event they claim did not occur in this instance. According to the insider, he says, and this talk about faction, let's be serious. You don't just walk up and declare that A, B, and C have formed a new bloc. It doesn't work like that in PDP. The only time we truly had a faction was when those 5 governors walked out at Eagle Square before the 2015 election. A faction emerges at the convention physically when people who are in attendance work out and set up their own convention and structure. None of that happened here. So technically speaking, there is no faction in the PDP as of today. The PDP has been plagued by the split following its December 8 convention, which led to a split in leadership. Despite INEC's practical action, the party is waiting a definitive judicial pronouncement. A court in Ibadan is scheduled to deliver a judgment next week on the legality of the December 8 convention, which is expected to provide formal clarity on the leadership question. It's getting really interesting. I don't know what's going to happen, but Wike's team also, they are doing their own thing at the other side, talking about trying to organize congresses in Enugu and other part. I'm waiting to see if INEC will be a part of that, Congress. But from all indication, Samuel Anyanwu's led National Working Committee, which is stale now, considering the fact that Damagum, who was their national chairman, has formally handed over power, to Toraki. So, be that as it may, it clearly shows that, unfortunately, Samuel Anyanwu is totally out, because by December 7, officially, they will be their reign as National Working Committee will be over officially. So I don't know where he will be operating from, because they were supposed to end their reign by 7th of December. So by 7th of December, Anyanwu won't even be parading himself again as a secretary, because every other person have quietly walked away. The likes of Kamaldeen Ajibade, the legal advisor, and the rest. If you notice, they are overly quiet. It's just that it's the likes of Wike that is gingering them, to continue. But I think they should get serious, because there's more to life than running around circle for too long. It makes no sense, because at the end of the day, you realize that you ended up frustrating yourself. And, it became so interesting looking at some persons that have been rewarded by Wike's relationship, the likes of Ifeanyi Igbezu, the likes of Ugwuanyi, and 2 former governors. So right now, most of them are still holding back, waiting to see what will come out. But from all indication, I think that INEC themselves are tired of this unnecessary bwahaha in People's Democratic Party, because before you can call yourself, let's tell ourselves the truth, before you can call yourself an independent National Electoral Commission, your validity will be based on the fact that there is multi-party system, in the country. When there is no multi-party system, what's the need of your existence? Because one-party system clearly shows that the issue, the normal selection will just take place and they will run those shows. So right now, I feel that for them to remain valid, they want to establish the fact that we still have a multi-party system in the country. Not just multi-party system in the country. We have some very strong opposition who are standing against the People's Democratic Party. And then, with that in mind, voting will be interesting. Elections will be interesting. Because if you have one party system and the other ones are busy struggling in the court, trying to gain their validity and all of that, what will happen is voters are party. Because there is no need to vote if other political parties are not functional, And PDP, whether we like it or yes, still stands as one of the strongest opposition against the All Progressive Congress, APC. It's an interesting update, but however, let's wait to see what will come up in future as we await, Wike's National Working Committee, or let me say Samuel Anyanwu's National Working Committee. What will happen in Enugu Congresses, which has already been slated by them. Let's meet and come and talk more on this. Thank you very much and stay tuned.